Hey everyone, Brayden here with Pickleball Effect. There was some big news yesterday that the JOOLA Gen-3 paddles that were delisted a couple of weeks ago are going to remain delisted. So when that announcement happened a couple of weeks ago, JOOLA resubmitted some additional paddles to get their Gen-3 lineup recertified and back onto their approved paddle list so they can be used in tournaments and the like. But USAP came out yesterday and announced that the newly submitted paddles that JOOLA sent them did not pass their recertification process. So the paddles are going to remain off of their approved paddle list. So I'm just going to read this paragraph from the official statement that USAP put out. It says that USA Pickleball received and tested the newly submitted paddles, which did not meet our approved equipment standards. As a result, these paddles have not been added to the USA Pickleball approved equipment list. So this means that if you're playing a JOOLA Gen-3 paddle, you still can't use it in tournaments, and they are technically illegal. I don't know how JOOLA is going to respond to this, if they're going to push to get them recertified still, or if they're just going to offer refunds. I'm sure we'll hear more information on that soon. And there's also rumors that USAP is cracking down on other Gen-3 style type paddles that are also being delisted from their approved list, although there hasn't been an official statement about any additional paddles, but it sounds like there might be some others along with Gen-3 style paddles. So in light of this news, I wanted to offer my 2 cents of potential alternatives to the Gen-3 paddles if you've been liking and playing those. So all the paddles I'm going to show you here are not Gen-3 style paddles. They're not quite as powerful and poppy as the Gen-3s, but they have very similar profiles and are good alternatives. And they're most likely not going to get delisted on you. So I'm going to go through JOOLA's lineup and offer what I think are the best alternatives for those models. So starting with the JOOLA Perseus 3, this is the 16 millimeter. I think the best alternative for this one is going to be the PaddleTech Bantam TOKCX 14.3 millimeter. This has the extended handle, very similar head shape. Bantam TOKCX 14.3 is going to be your best option there. If you play with the Perseus 3 14 millimeter, then PaddleTech has the same Bantam TOKCX in a 12.7 millimeter option that has that thinner core. Another good option or a viable option here, if you play with the 14 millimeter, is the Pursuit MX. This one also has the extended handle and similar weight as the 14 millimeter Perseus 3. If you're playing with a Tyson McGuffin 16 millimeter, this is essentially the same paddle as Ben's, but with a shorter handle and a little lighter swing weight. PaddleTech offers their Bantam series in a TOKC model with a little shorter handle. So this one's very similar in shape and handle length. Is going to be your best alternative here. This is the TOKC 14.3. And then same thing with if you play with the Tyson McGuffin 14 millimeter, PaddleTech offers the TOKC 12.7 that I think lines up best with that one. And then if you play with Simone's, the Hyperion 3 here, this one has a little lighter swing weight and a little less power and pop profile compared to the Perseus 3. So I think the best one that lines up with this one is going to be the Engage Pursuit Pro 1 6.0. This has the thicker core, the extended handle, very similar head shape and lighter swing weight. These two match up pretty well. I think that's going to be your best option for that one. If you play with the 14 millimeter of the Hyperion 3, then you have the Engage Pursuit Pro 1 with the thinner core. So the thicker core is the Pro 1 MX, or excuse me, the thicker core is the Pro 1 6.0. The thinner core is just the Pro 1. So the Pro 1 is the one that matches up with the 14 millimeter for the Hyperion 3. And then you have the Scorpeus 3 models. So you have the Colin John 16 millimeter and then the Anna Bright 14 millimeter. These ones were the trickiest to find alternatives for because these were the most unique of the bunch with the standard shape and the longer handle. There just aren't too many power type paddles out there in a standard shape, let alone paired with a longer handle like this. But I think the best alternative for the Colin Johns model is going to be the Engage Pursuit EX. This one it is a thinner core, still plays forgivingly, but is one of the bigger power and pop profiles of the standard shape model that is similar to the Colin Johns, but unfortunately it has the shorter handle. But yeah, that's going to be the best alternative for that one. If you're looking at the Anna Bright model, so this is the 14 millimeter of the standard shape, I think the best option is going to be the PaddleTech ALW 12.7. It's going to give you that big power and pop. Unfortunately, it also has that shorter handle, but I still think that's just going to be the best alternative you have for those models. So there you go. That's my 2 cents of the best alternatives you're going to find for paddles that aren't going to get delisted, but play similar to the JOOLA Gen-3 paddles. I'll put links to the description to all these paddles if you are interested in purchasing them. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments. I'll be answering those. Thanks for watching, and I hope that helps.